to the Kent Lapp Podcast.
Have you seen the movie on Netflix that caused a little bit of a stir this summer called Cuties?
Oh, no.
Andrew, what's it called?
Cuties.
Cuties?
Cutesies.
Okay.
Cutesies?
Have you-
Okay. Cuties.
Did you know?
Cuties.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel bad that I even knew that.
Oh man, I literally can't laugh very much today
What
because
happened to you?
I have an intercostal muscle rip on my right side. It feels like I have a broken rib, but it's just a muscle strain.
An intercoastal.
Yeah, your intercostal muscles keep your ribs together, and I heard it a week and a half ago. And it's
What were you doing?
it was just something at CrossFit, but I don't even know what happened. But it's tender. Anyhow, Cuties. So that was a little bit of a stir this summer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you know anything about it?
I know a little bit about it. Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you this: What did you think of the stir? What do you think about the whole cancel Netflix thing because of that?
Okay, I have. This is a little bit of a. It's a complex opinion. I was really so immediately when it came out and there was this huge stir. There's a what's it called? It's kind of like the new Drudge Report.
The new
It's very simple. Yeah, it's just links.
Reddit?
No. Citizen something. Citizen
Andrew will
News.
see what he can
I don't
find
know.
on the internet.
Citizen News Report, something like that.
Okay.
And so that was where I first read about it. And the article that I read was like, this is child pornography. It had, a cover, maybe the poster, the event poster. It had like a 30-second YouTube clip that it was like, this is the worst movie of all time. I watched the 30-second YouTube clip and I was like, this is disgusting. Mm-hmm. I like watching. I was going, why on earth? I mean, these are, I think legitimately 10, 11, 12-year-old girls, I don't think they're older actresses who are
younger,
playing down in age. I think they're genuinely kids.
8 to 12?
8 to 12.
Okay, 8 to 12. And so I was
Some
like,
cases,
what?
6.
And I was like, this is, it felt really dirty to watch even that 30-second news clip about it, showing some of the bits that were in the movie. And I was like, this is, how on earth could anybody be okay with this? Then I read another article about it that was kind of in defense of the movie. And it made some decent points in the fact that apparently the lady who either directed it or created it, I don't remember her name, but that, she's trying to say that the over-sexualization of young girls in America, and I don't even know, is it set in America?
Yes.
No.
It is? Okay.
No.
Oh, it's not?
No.
No. But
Because I have some thoughts on it too I want to get to.
Okay, so maybe not in America, but the over-sexualization of young girls is a wrong thing.
Yeah.
And so she's trying to portray that these young girls via social media or whatever are impacted by what they see from the influencers or from what men tell them they should be, and they behave a certain way, and that the ultimate point of the story is that behavior is not okay, and that the over-sexualization of young girls is not okay. And so I was like, all right, to me, that's a fair point.
Mm-hmm.
And I started thinking about it. If Cuties had been a novel, if this had been written words on a page in a book, would anybody have a problem with it? And I don't think so. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've read, I love reading nonfiction. I'm sorry, I love reading fiction. I love reading both, but I love reading great novels and I love reading great stories. And some of those stories are dark. Some of those stories have murder. Some of those stories have rape. Some of those stories have, robbery, crime. Some of those stories have things that aren't good as a part of the story. But to me, it feels different seeing it on film.
Sure.
It feels different. Actual kids, moving pictures, depicting things that kids should not be doing.
Sure.
And so that's where I ultimately land on it. Now, do I want to cancel Netflix? Genuinely, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't, and I've talked with a good buddy of mine about this a little bit. I think that, and he's actually influenced me quite a bit on this. We as Christians, I think a lot of times just react to things like this that are part of culture, and we say we got to cancel this, we got to boycott.
Mm-hmm.
There's a boycott culture that is part of, maybe the conservative side of Christianity, and I don't love that.
Right.
I don't love that. That if you make a joke, or if a comedian, Joe Rogan, if you take Joe Rogan, the people at Spotify who are up in arms about Joe's comedy and him making jokes, that they want to cancel him. They essentially want to cancel him. I don't think that's right.
Right.
Now, it's a little bit different. Like I get in this conversation with myself where I go, well, wait a minute. If somebody's out there making legitimate child pornography, do I think they should be canceled? Yeah, I think they should. I think they should be canceled, thrown in jail, not be able to do business. To me, that's a crime. And it's different. Do I think somebody making adult pornography should be thrown in jail? No, I don't. I don't think it's good and healthy. But I think if it's a consensual thing,
sure,
that shouldn't be a crime, you know? And so, but when it's kids, I think it's different.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something that feels, it feels wrong.
Yep.
It feels evil a little bit to me. And so, but I'm not up for canceling Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all up for people using pressure, public persuasion to try to move a brand in a specific way, or maybe educate. But I don't think you just go throw the baby out with the bathwater and just cancel Netflix. And especially for me, like we live in the country.
Yep.
We cut our cord 3 years ago. We don't have satellite or cable. I don't have an internet connection in my home right now.
Really?
I cannot get internet. This is 2020. I can't get internet access at my home.
So do you have Netflix?
We do, but we can only stream it from a hotspot on our phone.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or that's the only way we can do it right now. So these days we're not doing it.
I see.
And we had a little hotspot thing.
Yep.
But it was a weird setup through like a weird online company that a friend of ours had connected us with, and then it just stopped being serviced.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't get them to return a phone call or an email or anything. They just keep billing us, and we have zero for 3 months. We haven't had any service at all.
Yeah. Oh wow.
None.
Wow. So I think with Cuties, first of all,
have you seen it?
I have. I have not watched the whole thing because it was very boring. But and I shouldn't speak in sound bites because someone can pull that sound bite out and that's not going to play well on the internet. So if that's the only 10-second clip that they hear. Here's what I think about Cuties is, first of all, if someone saw either just the poster that Netflix had for it, or the trailer, or the actual movie, or pictures, or just from what they heard about it, and they wanted to cancel Netflix, look, they can do whatever they want. I'm not going to speak poorly about that. If someone wants to pull out of Netflix or Amazon or not watch any more TV based on, feeling like they're supporting something, or they want to take away that maybe that ability to see things that they don't want to see or they don't want their kids seeing, I'm totally fine with that. And then beyond that, so I'm totally cool with that. And then beyond that, I think that there was a lot of misunderstandings around Cuties, and I think that it was interesting on the timing of things because we were so kind of hot and triggered and just ready in general like this summer for something like this to come along and just kind of have it like...
It's a little bit like a tinderbox.
It was a tinderbox, yeah. And so... there's a couple things that were misunderstood. First of all, it's not a TV show. It's a movie. So I heard that
I never heard anybody tell me it was a TV show.
I did.
Really?
That's all I heard. I heard that it was a TV show shot in America, and the underlying purpose of this TV show was to bring in young girls that could be utilized and abused and who knows what.
Where did you hear this?
So, I didn't from hear multiple parties I heard
that's
that.
That's crazy.
So I heard there was a TV
that.
show and preying on young girls. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
And so finally honestly, I didn't pay it that much attention because I wasn't that interested. But so there's Cuties on Netflix one night, and my wife's there, and so we just click play. It's what's it rated, Andrew? PG-13?
Not sure.
So I think let's check out what the rating is on. I'm assuming it's PG-13, and so it is a movie, not a TV show, and it is PG-13. So if someone doesn't want to watch PG-13, that's fine. I didn't watch the movie. I just fast-forwarded to see what the storyline was, and the storyline seems to be a young girl who grows up in like a Muslim-type culture, and so she sort of has this free spirit and wants to dance. But of course, her grandma and her mom, particularly, I think the grandma, don't want her to do that. And then, yes, again, there is dance scenes towards the end of this movie, or a dance scene at least, that is 8 to 12-year-old girls apparently on a stage, like at a fair.
That's part of the clip that I saw.
Dancing in, tight clothes, short shorts, booty shorts, that type of thing. Like maybe even two pieces. I can't even quite remember. But dancing like promiscuously, like suggestively. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Am I a fan of 8 to 12-year-old girls dancing like that? 100%, of course not. But I can tell you that you can find a lot worse than that on Netflix. And so here's the big thing that I think was maybe misunderstood in America for the large part when this happened. This was not an American film. This was a film, I think it was Paris. Did you find that, Andrew?
Is it set in Paris?
I'm sorry, not Paris. This was a French film, I believe. And we should probably fact check this, but I believe it was a French film. And when it came out, it was not, they didn't use the marketing that they use in America. It was not like overly sexualized when they came out with the marketing material and the messaging. The movie wasn't about young girls dancing their booty off. You know what I mean? The movie was about the storyline and freedom of expression of thought and like finding yourself. And I'm not even saying that any or all of that's right. I'm just saying this is what happened. When it came to America, I do think Netflix did make a mistake because of the cover they had on the movie. It was like a very kind of promiscuous, like it had like the cover was like probably the worst scene in the entire movie of these young girls like dancing, things like that. So Netflix made a mistake with that. And they also made a mistake with their messaging. When they brought the movie to America, the messaging of the movie did turn more sexual and so forth. And that was a mistake. And I think they called it back later and changed it and so forth.
They did.
So, yeah. Okay. So, again, I don't mind if people cancel Netflix. They can do whatever they want. I have no problem with that. I didn't cancel Netflix, didn't pay that much attention to it. And then when I did finally pull up the film and just like, here's the thing with that film. It looks like a boring film, to be honest with you. Like it does. I wouldn't sit there and watch that film. It looks extremely boring.
What type of film do you normally go for?
Not that. But I will say I was surprised.
Why not that?
I'll get to that. I was surprised at all the upheaval that was burning through people's social medias and people canceling Netflix and all of this. I talked to someone just last week who canceled Netflix and he thought it was a TV show.
Yeah.
He can do whatever he wants. I'm just saying that he didn't have the right. He didn't have the right information.
I'm genuinely curious about this. What does it matter if it's a TV show or a movie?
I think if it's a TV show that's about 8 to 12-year-old girls competing in booty shorts and what do you call it? Two-piece, I don't know. My oldest daughter's 6 years old. I don't know. Yeah, a piece of the top and a piece of the bottom. Is that what you call it?
Mine's 15, and she's like the most modest kid I've ever met in my life.
If it's a TV show in America that is, what do you call it, campaigning or candidating or competing, like pulling in, like America's Got Talent, like a reality TV show. That's different. You know what I mean?
So
that's
he
very
thought it
different.
was a reality TV show?
I don't remember specifically the reality part, but definitely thought it was a TV show. My point is, the movie looks pretty boring. I'm not even suggesting that anyone watch it. I just think there was a lot of misinformation, like a lot of other things that happened this summer, and things just went viral on social media. Everyone's tensions were a little bit high, and
like a lot of other things.
That got fed into the blender.